How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the first episode of the Tidmouth Talks podcast. So, I have a very special guest today, one of my very good friends. Please welcome LYR55 James.
Uh, Hello everyone. I'm
Hey,
Alan Wire 55 James. Thank you for having me on the show, Tidmouth.
thank you for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we'll start with questions, unless you want to talk a little bit first.
Well, I can talk about my little bit about myself. Well, as you can
Yeah,
tell, my favorite
sure.
engine is James. My favorite railway is the Lancashire Yorkshire, and my favorite number happens to be 55 because of a certain Bluebell engine. Ironic enough,
Mm-hmm.
but it's interesting.
Yeah.
I have over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube as of this point. Been on YouTube for 10 years now. What a milestone.
Mm. In total, I've
Literally,
been
I'm,
on YouTube. In total,
it's
I've been on
interesting.
YouTube for 8 years.
Well, 10 years on YouTube since if you're me,
Yeah,
I created my YouTube channel back when the 70th anniversary was around.
yeah,
Specifically May 2nd of 2015. And in my opinion, 2015 was probably the best year of the franchise ever because of the 70th. I
yeah.
If you think about it, I did my YouTube channel 10 days before the actual anniversary.
That's nice.
So having a channel hit 10 years when the franchise hits 80, that's actually very impressive to
Yeah,
me. So I heard you have
I've
questions for me.
yeah, but I've been on YouTube for 8 years now, so that's still
Well,
pretty
don't
good.
well don't worry, 10 years will come for you. By the time
Yeah,
basically for 2 more years for you, it'll hit 12 years already. So let's get to
yeah.
the questions that you have for me.
All right. Question one is when and how did you discover YouTube?
Well, at a young age, I'd like to watch Thomas content besides watching it on DVDs. So before I got an
Mm-hmm.
actual electronic, my dad would let me go on his phone once a time to watch some Thomas content. Mostly when I go on, it would mostly be Percy Engine 6199. Tomy remakes, if you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean.
Yeah, I've
One
watched
of
a few.
those I can remember was watching his Best of Gordon remakes. Gordon takes a dip, trouble with mud, down the you get the point.
Yeah,
It's how I started YouTube, and then when I got my own merchandise, well, I owned some Thomas merchandise. Decided to get creative, starting small and then working my way bigger. Currently, I'm do remakes with an editing software, and I'm part of an animation team at this point.
that's nice.
Uh, I'm not supposed that you've heard of the classic series creations, have you?
It sounds familiar.
They do remakes based on classic series. It's like a bit of them. One
Okay.
of them, one of their episodes happened to star Rebecca in it as a twist.
Oh, that's cool.
Maybe a man by the name of Tidmouth Yard Studios rings bells to you.
I've heard of him.
Well, he actually runs the channel alongside Jolly Good Ideas, and I'm part of the animation
Okay,
team.
that's nice. Okay.
So, what other questions?
Question two is why did you start a YouTube channel? You
Well, I
kind of
wanted to
answered that in the question. You
Well,
kind
I
of
wanted
answered
to
that
do
in the
something
question.
else. Well, saw many other YouTubers doing content like Thomas Wooden Railway, also known as Key Creek 24 Studios. You also got Wooden Railway
Yeah,
Only, Enterprise Ninja 93, Sidekick Jason, Diesel D199. And I mean, watching all these guys take Thomas merchandise and making videos out of it, it intrigued me. It was like
yeah,
it was like a calling to a person.
yeah, that makes sense.
Any other questions?
Question three is who are your five favorite YouTubers? And am I one of them?
Well, you're in my top 10. You're more in, like, you're
Okay,
number 6 on the level.
Okay.
But if I had to pick
I'll
my
take it.
like if I had to pick my top 5 favorite Thomas YouTubers, I'd have to say there are, in no particular order, they are Mystery the Hedgehog, Enterprise and Engine 93, Sidekick Jason, Thomas Wooden Railway, and I'd also would have to say, if I had to put it down on paper, I would have to say Bad Writer Alumni.
They're all good YouTubers. I think I subscribe to all of them actually.
Bad Writer Alumni did like ones that were like some with swearing in them until he
Yeah.
decided to go nice on them. But they're all funny other way. Him shipping Thomas and Rosie and them being in a relationship is just funny as heck. Although
Yeah.
now we won't never get an episode about James and Emily having a kid.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah.
What?
In in one of his Valentine's Day episodes, Emily told James that she was pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah, at a Valentine's Day party.
Okay. I I
And
think
that basically, because of random nonsense that he does on that channel, basically, in when he introduced Rosie, Scruffy, Diesel, and two troublesome trucks kidnapped Rosie.
oh,
And at the end of the episode, the workmen painted Diesel pink that said, "I love friendship bracelets."
I'm gonna have to watch that episode of his.
Yeah, funny shit. Oop, sorry for my language. Sorry, I like the merc with the mouth. So,
You're
questions. Back
fine,
to
just
questions.
wait. Yeah. And I think out of that list you said, I think Writer Alumni is actually the one I've subscribed to most recently.
Yeah, his content's actually very
Yeah.
humorous, especially when you watch his new stuff. It's even funnier. It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
you have his OC interacting with Alfred, and then you have a bunch of other engines gaining up on Alfred, beating the crap out of him.
Yeah.
Or you could have basically him voicing his own opinion of Thomas and Percy, parodying Shazam, which Percy is Shazam, and then basically a little kid recording as Thomas. But it's really funny. Like
Yeah.
Percy, I'd like to purchase some of your finest beers, please.
All right. Question 4 is who inspired you to make a YouTube channel?
Ooh, since it was around the 70th, I would name a lot of people that actually were around during the 70th that inspired me. So I could never
Okay.
limit myself to one. Like, if I wanted to list all of them,
Okay.
we'd probably be here till Christmas. So I'd limit my options down to Tommy Boyer, True Blue, Heart Cloud Productions, Mystery the Hedgehog, Liz Productions 5784, Kane Fan 701, etc.
Yeah. Okay. What are your future goals for YouTube? So I guess that's basically asking like, what are your future projects?
Well, my big project I have in the works is an OC story about my character. It the first part takes place between 1909 to 2003. Second part takes
Okay.
place in 2004 to 2015. And my series that's still in the works right now because I need trains to actually make it is in the works to
Yeah.
do 2 seasons where my character, and then at the end of the season for a movie, my character leaves my universe. It's still around, but I get to travel and go to another universe to live, if you get my point.
Yeah. Are you doing any like voice acting for that? Do you need
Well, I'm going to be
people to
voice
voice act
acting
for
some
you?
characters, but I've been asking some people to voice act, especially
I
some of my
wouldn't
good
mind.
friends.
I wouldn't mind voice acting for that series.
If you could sing, then you could be in it because most of the characters will be singing as well. Just make sure you have a
Okay.
strong singing voice. So what would you
Right.
say your question 6 is?
Question 6. How did you come up with the username L Life? R55.
Well, it took me about 10 years to actually get this name. First, it started out as my real name, but I didn't really want anyone to know my real name.
Mm-hmm.
Then it came along the lines of basically, since it was during the Great Race, I decided to change it. I came up with the 55 after I created my OC in 2015. Since I had a big thing for Ashima when the Great Race came out, I changed the channel to Ashima 55. But I'm like, then people would think I'm a girl. So I decided
Mm-hmm.
to change it over to James 55, but that name got stale after some incidents due to things I should not mention. So
I
basically, I
remember
decided
some
to
of
change.
that.
Nah, we don't talk about those right now, or
Yeah,
ever.
no.
Never in this lifetime or in the next. But the reason why I came up with LNYR55 James is because mostly based on Terrier 55 Stepney. Think of me as
Mm-hmm.
basically the tender engine version of him, except Terrier as a base as I did the railway my character's from. Kept the 55 because
Yeah,
that's my number, and I did my favorite character, James. So think of me basically as the American version of him.
yeah. Question
Yeah.
seven is question seven is what are your thoughts on YouTube?
You mean the direction it's heading in? It's interesting. It's because they're saying
Mm-hmm.
mostly all stuff to YouTube kids when it's crazy. You created a separate app for that. Just keep everything that's made
Mm-hmm.
for kids on that, but also keep it so the comments can stay on YouTube. Because I think
I know.
I'm finding a pain in the butt that if I want to watch something but scroll through YouTube, I can't because it's made for kids. Seriously, that makes no sense.
I know. Some
You
of my
have an
most
app that says YouTube Kids. Don't
mm-hmm.
put things that you think are made for kids on there, but keep the comment section on your actual platform.
Mm-hmm. And some of my most viewed videos have actually been made for kids by YouTube themselves.
For some
And
reason,
what
I
I
don't
hate,
get that. I actually don't understand that about YouTubers. You and another
neither
buddy
do
of
I.
mine get most of your guys' content gets made for kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
I bet if you go into my channel right now, like if you were to do a handful selected of videos, like find my most
Mm-hmm.
popular and my most recent, I bet if you looked on YouTube right now, you would notice my comment sections are still up.
Mm-hmm.
But what's question 8?
Why why do you think that your most popular video was your most popular?
All I did was do a remake of Be Who You Are and Go Far from the Great Race back then with Thomas Minis and it blew up. I think at this point it has over 5,000 views right now. I actually don't know. It's crazy, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Look what I mean. Well, like I mean, it's wacky. I don't understand how a terrible remake of me having minis in front of a camera and then having it blow up like instant. It's crazy if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, what would you
Okay.
say your question number 9 is?
What is the process of you making videos?
Patience and time. You can't rush a YouTube video. It's like art. You can't rush art. If you rush it,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes sloppy. Think of it as like, think of it basically like Mattel. They rush all engines go. It looks like complete shit.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I mean. It's complete garbage. They have no clue what they're doing. They actually have no idea. They can't write decent things like Andrew Brenner, which is, in my opinion, very sad. Because Andrew Brenner writes some good crap when it comes to it. You do know that Henry's Forest was written by Andrew Brenner, right?
Oh, that's right, because he wrote some like model series episodes. and like the
Yes,
batch
that is
scenes and stuff before he ever became the head writer.
that is
And
correct.
but they didn't credit him, I don't think, in those old episodes.
Yeah, which is the most saddest thing that I can actually tell. In my opinion,
Yeah.
it was actually really sad.
hmm Okay. If you had the power to change something on YouTube, what would it be? So, like, if you were the CEO of YouTube, what would you do?
I would change basically if someone has a problem with something, give them like a restricted warning because
hmm
it's stupid. It's the most stupidest thing you would probably see.
hmm And kind of like with question 7, when you said the stuff about cop and that videos made for kids, that those should be only on YouTube Kids and not YouTube. They should still give you your comment sections on YouTube, right?
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
I change.
Very interesting.
Okay, question 11 is, what is your favorite movie or favorite video that you've made?
That I ever did?
Yeah.
Well, that's actually a bit of a hard one since I've literally have done so many. It's no
hmm
competition. I would not have my own favorites. Well, if you're me, that is. I don't literally have a favorite. What
Okay.
all I do is basically just make stuff that comes to the top of my head. Like
Yeah.
if I'm doing something based on that already existed, I'm just combining it all together. And
Yeah.
literally it's worth it. It's literally called you basically putting it out there. That's what I do. Some videos involved Victor, some of my friends giving me stuff and inspiration.
Uh-huh.
Literally, it just depends on how you ask me. Literally, I can tell you my most popular video. I can actually tell you how many views it actually has, which is crazy.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't even believe me if I told you.
How many views does it have?
How p- how curious do you think it has? I said it has over 5,000. So, you ready to you're ready to hear a mind blower experience that you probably would never hear in your lifetime?
Sure.
Let me just
It's got a
find.
million views, probably.
Nah, I don't think that would be that close. But I'd have to say, if I go back right now, it has exactly. Like I said, I'm looking and I've made so much content. I'm surprised about myself.
Just click on most popular on if you're like on YouTube. Just click the thing on the top of your
Ah,
channel that says
found it.
popular.
Found it.
Okay.
I'd say 5,507 views.
That's nothing compared to my most viewed.
But yeah,
My
what's
most viewed,
your next question?
well, my most viewed video has almost 300,000 views.
Didn't you do redubs for me?
I've done a couple, and I know I did lines for you just recently. Did you ever get that read about?
No, because I had a falling out with one of my actors, which got me banned from a server, so I had to stop at Donald's Duck. But I
Uh,
am but I am planning to do more redubs. That's my goal. Mostly
yeah.
basically ones that are classic series stuff. Specifically stuff from seasons 1 to 5. since I have a Google
Yeah.
Drive folder of mostly all episodes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Question 12 is, what is your opinion on All Engines Go?
An abomination.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, think about a person asking themselves, why should a tulip have leaves? Why not hands? Or even feet? And then give it a brain and a voice. It's an abomination. Basically,
Wait, doesn't
imagine
it?
that as a tulip.
Yeah, that's true. And then Henry and Edward don't even talk. Got a split-second cameo. They
Donald and Douglas don't even appear in it.
no, they brought Toby back, but they're they made him act like he's a new engine that they've never met before.
Well, Gordon did say that Toby's old line on the mainland closed.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that make sense?
and I actually watched a video just recently that they said that's different from the TV series from when he
Yeah, but
was
All Engines Go
like
now
up
is
north
dead.
somewhere.
Let's wait for what happens in
Yeah,
2026.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
okay,
we're
what's your
only
next
20.
question?
That's it. I don't know what else to ask you.
You can ask me
But
about
we're
Magic
only
Road since
20.
the anniversary's coming up.
Yeah, we're only 22 minutes in.
So, you could
Well,
ask me about Magic Road. Literally, that's my favorite Thomas movie.
yeah. Oh yeah. To everyone that's watching the Thomas and Magic Road anniversary, 25th anniversary, right? It's coming up.
Yeah, that's coming up.
25th anniversary. Um, and what better time to talk about it than today? So, like James was saying before we started recording, the UK dub came out July 14th, and the US dub came out July 26th. So, for you British viewers, you probably already celebrated the anniversary, but us American viewers will all celebrate it on July 26th. So, but what are your plans for the anniversary?
I plan to do a remake. One of my friends is doing a redub of the movie. I'll be doing mostly the
Mm-hmm.
human characters, James, and if I'm lucky, I'll be also doing Percy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, Magic Road's one of my is one of the good movies that I am because, well, I can actually make my voice sound like most of the actors from the movie. Specifically, Gordon, James is right, little Thomas. Collecting a Mr. Conductor
Uh-huh.
is an important job. Hmm? Important is big. James is a big engine. You, Thomas, are small. Small, 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 teeny, weeny, weeny. And I'm a big blue engine who knows everything. Ha ha.
Episode. Oh,
My other good
that's
one is
actually
James. My good strong
yeah.
one is James. You
Mm-hmm.
weren't concentrating, Thomas. Lucky for you that the buffers were there. That's what buffers are for, to stop engines from crashing. What are you doing in the sheds, James? I'm feeling a little blue, which isn't so hot when you're red. I was naughty, and so Tom Pat told me to think about all the ways I could be really useful. Then I could come out again. He's just trying to make this a better railway for steam engines. So Topham Hatt says the harder we work, the less you'll need diesels to help. Help you? You'll always need help because steam engines are cowardly, cranky, worn out hunks of metal who couldn't hurt a fly. Bam! No, we're not. Yes, you are. Aren't are. Another one is my Percy one. Well, actually, most What's important is to stand up our own wheels to Diesel. Toby's right. Diesel knows that the lost engine in the legend really exists. What engine? What legend? Of an engine whose magic makes her more powerful than Diesel will ever be. That's why he wants to find her. Well, we better find her
Hmm.
first. Leave it to the big engines, Percy. Little engines can do big things, especially if they have nice blue paint like me.
Five, six, seven, eight. That's a good engine.
Do we appreciate practicing your numbers, Gordon?
That's a good.
That's a good engine.
That's a good engine. I'm counting how many seconds late you are.
The only thing I'm surprised about Magic Road is that if they wanted to add more scenes to the movie, they could have
Hmm.
just resorted to doing, well, what they did. What they did for the classic series after Magic Railroad. Basically, just put in footage, stock footage from the classic, from seasons 1 to 5 to add more flavor to it.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know. If you had some scenes, it would make some of the engines part of the movie. Like, make it, have, like, Edward have an appearance, like have him pulling passengers like an Edward's exploit. Something like
that's
that. Gives it
that's
more
right. Edward.
flavor.
Now that you say that, Edward wasn't in the movie at all.
According to what they said, Edward didn't have enough screen time, and literally they gave it to Bertie. Literally the only characters that had no point in the movie was Gordon for one. Literally he was in the movie just to tease Thomas, and that's it.
Hmm.
You got James in the shed to learn a lesson, and then he actually saves Junior's ass in the scrapyard. You got Percy, who's a big wimp, who then becomes brave to tell Thomas that Spire and Dodge know about the buffers.
Yeah,
Henry was only in there to basically give off very Boiler Egg vibes. In the beginning, he actually told the engines about it, about the Legend of Lady, and then he got Boiler, which shunted the coal truck into the grotto that leads to the secret railway. And the grotto is the Lost Engine special platform.
I do have another question. So this would be question 13.
Okay,
Out
shoot.
of out of the whole series, whose voice, whose character's voice can you do the best?
Ooh, you mean out of Magic Road or the entire franchise?
The entire franchise, entire series.
Well, that depends on what era you're asking me. I can do a Rusty. Well done. Cheers. Keep up the good work. I could do a I could do a George Carlin Duck. I'm ready when you are.
Okay.
I could even do a Alec Baldwin Rusty because of a big boulder. I think he's watching me. How could that be? Boulders don't have eyes. Well, Percy, there's something mysterious about this one. Now, if you're talking
What
like
about
CGI, oh, I
yeah,
could do six
CGI?
characters. Like, if you wanted to go Hero the Rails, I could do 6 characters and narrator in one shot. And I'm not joking. I'm not
Okay.
even bluffing. You want to hear it?
Okay. Sure, yeah.
Okay. The next day, Thomas was at Brendam Docks. He had a heavy flatbed of machinery to collect. Spencer was there. He was being coupled up to 5 flatbeds of building materials. Dear oh dear, Thomas. It's just as well the Duke and Duchess don't have a tiny toy tank engine like you. The summer house would never be finished. What do you mean? I mean, Thomas, you just can't pull heavy loads. Thomas was upset, and so were the other engines. This time, Spencer had gone too far. Yes, I can. I can pull just as heavy loads as you. Yes, he can. Even heavier. Thomas is not a toy. He's a really useful engine, and he's very strong. The Sodor engines didn't scare Spencer. An idea had bubbled in his boiler. Very well, Thomas. Meet me tomorrow at dawn at the shunting yard. We will have a contest of strength. We'll each pull a heavy load, and we'll see who can pull it for longer. And for further, Spencer slid slyly out of the docks. Suddenly, Thomas was worried. Buzz my buffers. I can't do this. Spencer would win a contest of strength. The other engines saw that their friend was worried. You're the number one engine on Sodor, and you'll show Spencer that Sodor engines are more special than he is. I know that because you're my best friend. Thomas looked at his best friend, Percy. Percy believed in him. I will meet Spencer at dawn, and I will win.
That's pretty good.
When you've watched enough CGI to understand a single line of dialogue by memory, it's crazy.
I
One of
know, I know.
my most strongest character, if you're talking female, is Caitlin. And I'm Caitlin. We're coming for the opening of Ulfstead Castle to bring passengers from the mainland. This is our test run and time trial. We're having a little race. Care to join us? Another one is actually Caitlin for further into the CGI. I've been going so fast, I've loosened my bolts, Charlie. I need to go to the steamworks to get them tightened. Can I leave my coaches here and come back for them later? Sure thing, Caitlin.
Holy shit, that was good.
I even know certain facts about characters that I even dived in further. Did you know Sandy from All Engines Go isn't really a kid?
What? No way.
Her base her basis dates back to years when Edward was around.
Hey, okay.
Yeah. Just because a character acts like a kid doesn't mean they're a kid. That's like comparing Philip. The box cabs were built in 1930, but Philip acts like a kid.
And what's crazy is that Thomas's basis is older than Gordon's basis.
Who?
Thomas and Gordon.
Yeah, I find that weird. Doesn't wait? That would actually make sense. Thomas would have the next seniority in the Steam team. Well, I mean third because Emily's another old engine.
Yeah, but Thomas is older than Gordon,
Yeah, I don't find that
which
weird
is
at
crazy.
all. Gordon's just a bigger engine with the ego the size of the suspension bridge.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, a lot of things can be interesting when it comes down on paper. Unfortunately, that's the last question I'd have to answer since I have to split.
You gotta go.
Yep. It was fun being on this podcast.
Yeah. All right. So I guess we'll end the podcast here. I don't know when episodes will be released. I don't know if like I'll do them every week or like 2 or 3 episodes a week. I don't know how I'm gonna do this yet, but yeah, this episode should come out later tonight. So I'll see you later, James.
See ya, man.
Have a good one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.